So we're here in Southern California. We're headed out from where I live in Eastvale to Hemet, California, and actually going to be doing a parade. So I'll be reporting. So we're here in Southern California. We're headed out from where I live in Eastvale to Hemet, California, and actually going to be doing a parade. So I'll be reporting. So we're here in Southern California. We're headed out from where I live in Eastvale to Hemet, California, and actually going to be doing a parade. So I'll be reporting. So we're here in Southern California. We're headed out from where I live in Eastvale to Hemet, California, and actually going to be doing a parade. So I'll be reporting. From there, so to speak. And I want to talk to you about strategies. And what do you have to do to be successful in real estate? Now, if you guys have followed me, you know that I started with wholesale real estate. Let's go back and talk about the history. I've been involved in real estate for about 10 years. And I was taught the basic wholesale strategy, which when I lost my business, I fully jumped into and embraced. Part of my strategy was to focus on Wichita and then in Tulsa, in the Midwest, and I live here in California. Some of you are wondering, well, you know, you're going to do virtual wholesale real estate. How does that work out? Well, it wasn't very easy. It did work out. I did buy and sell houses. I have a bunch of them on my board to prove it. Focus on Wichita and then in Tulsa, in the Midwest, and I live here in California. Some of you are wondering, well, you know, you're going to do virtual wholesale real estate. How does that work out? But the difficulties we came into is when you're not in the area, you ultimately have to rely on somebody else. That's why you've got to be very careful about jumping in to a wholesale estate seminar and plan it virtually, because virtually speaking, you have to know the areas block by block in order to be able to comp things outright. Because especially today, with interest rates and how things have shifted, particularly from the Biden to the Trump administration, as Trump is trying to loosen up interest rates, it has definitely slowed things down. In the last year. So when you're deploying into an area, you really have to know and understand that area. Now, I've had students that have been from another city, Midwest, Cincinnati, for example, moved to the suburbs of Los Angeles and started to do real estate in Los Angeles. I encourage them to split it up because I didn't want to discourage them. I said take it 60-40, 60 in California, 40 in the area you know. Now, again, thinking you know an area and intimately knowing an area and being able to price homes right is a different issue. So better to be in the area, and I know that they have been pricing and comping homes in the greater LA area, and I hope they are successful. I am no longer part of that coaching company, so I have not been able to follow up with them. I believe at some point I probably will be able to do that. So that leaves us with a reality now as Ideal split in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And we have boots on the ground who know the areas, know how to price and comp things. We have certainly fallen victim to the rates that have been inconsistent, and really for a wholesale issue. You wonder why would rates mean anything because you're buying cash. It really depends on how much money and resources the buyer has. So sometimes that works, sometimes it gets in the way. But I'll tell you this, with real estate, by far the best strategy is to be in the area, which brings us back to California. What I'm doing today, going to Hemet. We've got a parade for our Lifeline business yet. I'm going to be checking out some of the opportunities there. And in Hemet, what you're looking for is somebody interested in selling, which means that the old strategies of the driving for dollars, the bandit signs, while they still work, there's so many people doing them. It's flooded it, and many of these people are not well trained because they're trying to make a buck, they're trying to get into it fast, and it takes a lot to understand and learn real estate. So they don't follow through, they don't call, or you've got people off of these signs, off of the houses, being called so much that you have to have a different strategy for even talking to them. For example, are you open to a conversation about your house instead of do you want to sell your house? Those are things now that my friend Rod Yarger, who I have been working with, has suggested, and he's done over deals. He said that things have shifted. You got to be aware of that. Things have shifted, so you just can't call somebody with a stale old script. Part of it is you got to feel comfortable enough to lean into a conversation. Conversational, not to be somebody who's reading off a script, because these people have heard that over and over and over again. And many of them go, I don't know if you have a skill set. So they automatically either tell you no or a few other choice words. And you've got to be willing to contact many times. We're working off, we're meaning I've got 5 people I'm working with now in different parts of the country. We're working in Tulsa. We're working in Wichita. We're working in Texas. We're working in Colorado, Front Range, and in Pueblo, and in Southern California. And with that, we're working now in beta testing a lead list to see if these are something. Because wholesale is not going to cut it. Now, some of the people at the top and the gurus who are still making their money hands over fists by telling you that it does work, and candidly, they can get testimonies, and they do. I will tell you that it shifted immeasurably because of all the things that we've talked about. Arenas flooded. There's a lot of people who don't know what they're doing. It's harder to get a hold of somebody. And driving for dollars is just a flip phone strategy in an iPhone 17 world. I got a iPhone 16 right before. Came out and replaced my 13, and I've still got 11 as a backup. And the difference in the camera is unbelievable. You can do as much with an iPhone 16 as you can with a very expensive single lens reflex digital. Now, you don't quite have all the bells and whistles, which allows you to control it, but you can still, which is really the bottom line, put out a quality picture when it's all said and done. So what does that have to do with real estate? I will tell you that wholesale, the strategies that I see are being taught, I'm not in every seminar, but I know basically they're the same things, are old, outdated flip phone. So you've got to figure out, what is it going to take for me to be relevant? If somebody who is teaching you is not embracing AI and the power of AI, then you should be asking, why am I in that seat? Because it's like teaching flip phone strategies with an iPhone 17. Now I got a 16 and they've improved it from that. And the pictures I'm able to get with the 16 are phenomenal. But now they've got the 17 model, which is even better. So with your strategies, you have to make sure that you indeed are using strategies that are relevant for the particular real estate economy you're in. And right now, you cannot scale your business without the use of artificial intelligence. A CRM to help you scale your business, and many other tools that come along with that. I'm thinking Deal Machine, tools like that, where you can track what you're driving and do them. A deal machine is a real driving for dollars wholesale tool, and it's a strategy. And while it still works, is aging out. So what's your choice? Well, embrace a strategy that makes you the real estate answer man or woman. To be successful in real estate, you have to have solutions. I just called it answer. Person call it the real estate solutions expert. And you've got to be able to solve the problems of people. That you're with. And I'm telling you, no matter whether it is wholesale, with wholesale I always said problem houses bring problem people, bring problems, and that is true. But I'm telling you, even with the slightly different clientele that I'm dealing with now, usually burned out renters with multiple dwellings, people who think, well, maybe it's a good idea to sell if I can get what I want. You've got to lean. As a trusted advisor and as a good salesman has, and that is typically many solutions, you have to have many solutions as well. That's where it is transitioned, is you've got to be solution oriented. So you have to have a subject to strategy, subject to the existing financing in place. Now, that sounds easy. It's not, because you got to convince the seller that it's better for them to allow somebody else to take over the loan. Now, the other issue with that is what kind of financial problems are they in which necessitated the contact. And ideally, the less equity they have in a house, the better candidate they are and need an impulse solution. They're making an impulse decision. You're giving them an impulse solution. So subject to is definitely in play. Another thing in play, and something that you need to develop, is your own financing, where you can buy a property, and if it is at or around wholesale, there's still those deals out there, that you can finance it yourself, so you don't go through a lot of the issues where the seller gets cold feet. And in some states with the laws, they're really encouraged to have cold feet and bolt from you. The law in Oklahoma just changed, where the seller can back out. So if you can put together a funding team, you need to be able to do that. Because then you can fund deals that look really solid and get them through. So, and that's a way. Once you fund them, then you can go and put them up. You're not under the stress of like 45 days. To sell it, you just obviously have to make sure that you bought it for the right price. So you got subject to, you have your own funding mechanism, and then owner financed. And this means that you've got to lean into and understand the owners. That's why we're talking about a different strategy from traditional wholesale, because traditional wholesale are typically cash only, and obviously they're places that people are not going to easily move into. They're going to have to fix them up extensively. Well, on an owner financed, on a situation where you buy it, possibly, and certainly a subject to, it could present some different options. So you have to be able to present different options. I have a friend going to a very high-end seminar. He's in the middle of it this week, and we're going to be talking about more options. What I have become is the solution guy. You need to become the solution person. I can help you with that. You want to direct message me, John Sarver, 951-847-0116. Let's see how we can solve your real estate issues. We'll talk to you soon.